We are in the most rainy conditions I've ridden in for years. It's like really yuck. Normally it's kind of like hot, but unfortunately it's one of those 3 or 4 times a year it's decided to rain. But we're here anyway, testing the Yamaha MORO 07, mainly aimed at enduro or all mountain. A Yamaha motor and a Yamaha battery and a Yamaha frame. That makes this bike really unusual. There are no other motor companies out there producing their own bike. So this is actually quite special. The fact that it's the 30th anniversary means it's 30 years since they produced the first e-bike. Okay, so let's have a look at the specifications of this bike. Yamaha's first foray, let's say, into enduro or into electric off-road. Now this has been around for a while, but we haven't really got much chance of testing it recently, so it's good to get on board and have a closer look. We can see that it's got 160mm travel on the front, supplied by RockShox with a RockShox Lyric. We've got 160 on the back, and this is also a RockShox shock. Now what's different about this bike compared to other ones at the moment is it comes with 27.5 inch wheels. However, they are 22.6 inch tyres, so they're quite large. Almost a 29er, you could call it, because the actual diameter of the tyre is so big. This is obviously what I would call a mid-range bike. So that means it's aimed in the middle of the market there. It retails around 5,000, 6,000. So one of the things Yamaha pride themselves on is the fact that this type of bike, it's not like a normal bike. When you buy it from a Yamaha dealer. That means you can also service it at a Yamaha dealer. So all the components are directly available from Yamaha. Here we've got a Shimano drivetrain here. We've got a 12-speed XT cassette with an XT derailleur. The motor's got 85 Newton meters of torque, 250 watts. It's quite compact. It's got the smallest Q factor on the market, which means it's pretty much feels like a normal mountain bike, an analog one. The motor's been rotated. Wow, there's water running off me. It's a twin tube design, which means the frame has 2 down tubes and 2 top tubes. It gives it a little bit more flex and control when riding. The other thing to note here is the battery sits in that frame there, so it's quite well placed. 500 watt hour battery. Now something Yamaha wanted me to point out, that yes, it's a 500 watt hour battery, but it is one of the most efficient battery systems on the market. That means that you could assume that you're riding something like almost a 600 watt, because how efficient this system is. Suspension wise, we've got a 4-bar link, so we've got a pivot at the rear, pivot there, and pivot here and a pivot there. That gives you quite a progressive active system. It's quite enjoyable to ride. It comes also with a hydraulic seat post, which is basically a necessity nowadays, as we'd expect. Up front, we've got Magura MT5 brakes, which are very powerful, and we're going to go and test them now in this incredibly bad weather to see how they come out. Tyre-wise, we're running Maxxis Minion on the front and a Maxxis Recon on the rear. The Yamaha electric system is here. The display is on the left. It's very robust, no screen, just a few LEDs, and you've got the power adjustment here. There's 4 or 5 levels of power plus auto. To get into auto mode, you press and hold that, and now it's in auto mode. The other line of LEDs there is the battery power. You've got 4 showing your maximum power. Each LED represents 20%, but it does flash showing that you've used 10% of the battery. The wheel package is quite a simple system. It's got a very wide rim. We're talking 35mm rim, giving you a lot of stability for that tyre, which means when you're pushing a 27.5 inch wheel hard in a corner, this tyre is going to stand up because it's supported by that wheel. You've got a very robust wheel set. On the brake end, we've got 4 piston calipers, which you can also see down here, and 200mm discs. So we should find that the braking is very powerful. So here we are trying to get our stuff together to ride in this horrific weather. Thing with riding in the rain, it's a bit of experience helps. Luckily I grew up in a wet country called the UK, where riding in the rain was kind of normal. It's a large size. I'm 6 foot, so the bike should be okay. So climbing this trail, the bike is actually light. It feels light. Ooh. Let's see how we get on. It's foggy. The bike's really maneuverable. You actually feel in a good position, even though we've got a river. Gah. But the trails are built pretty well. But we do have a river. We're canyoning. I've got these Elite boots on as well, which are just waterproof. This is extreme. I cannot ride fast on this. It's too much. But the trail cleans up there, that's good. With the right gear, even riding in the rain is fine. There's a lot of water. Wow, there are rivers of mud and water. Brakes feel good, even in these extreme conditions. The brakes are solid, precise. The power on this bike is really impressive. It feels a bit like a Bosch, but maybe slightly smoother. But it comes in more of a smoothly irrigated way. I feel in control. I feel I've got the maneuverability that's necessary for these kind of conditions. This trail is a river all the way down. Good to test a bike even in the worst conditions. The grip of the bike, it's maneuverable. It doesn't feel that. It's a good bike. Even though it's got a 27.5 on the front and 27.5 on the rear, which is kind of stable, smooth, it's quick. I feel in good position on it. The braking is super reliable. My feet are still completely dry. The motor's got power. I didn't even shift there and the motor picked me up the hill. Okay, we should jump this, but we're just chilling today because it's wet. And we don't want to have an accident. Trail now. This is extremely wet and the bike is handling it fine. The motor's got power and it's dead silent. Whoa. This is a river. Or is it a trail? Now, how deep is this? Whoa. Ooh. When am I riding in the river and when I'm riding on the trail? This is actually insane. My feet are still dry. Not anymore. Right. Oh no, I went too deep. Whoa, again. Straight through, but I'm all right.
All good?
Yeah.
Ah, it works. Phew.
Even in the rain.
Water, thank you.
Underneath almost. It was up to here. Nothing, no struggles at all.
Sorry.
So I was actually impressed about how this bike worked. That was interesting. Extreme weather. I don't think I've ever ridden in conditions that extreme. And riding the Yamaha MORO 07, I have to say I was actually quite impressed. In these kind of conditions where it's very slippery, very sketchy, all over the place, the bike is actually pretty good because it's so maneuverable. You actually find yourself appreciating the 27.5 wheels on the front and rear. So I was quite surprised. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe and we'll see you on the next video.